Hello everybody and welcome to the 8th and final week of KIP for Camp Harborview. I'm Ashley and today you see that I'm in my kitchen. So that means we're baking something with the help of a special guest. So I'll let them take it away.
Hello, I'm Joanne Chang. I'm the pastry chef and co-owner of Flour Bakery. We are here in our production kitchen, so you might hear a little beeping when the timer goes off or if the phone rings, but I'm super excited to make one of our all-time favorite recipes here at Flour, and that is our vegan low-fat chocolate cake. Now don't be turned off because I said the word vegan or low-fat. You might think that means it's not going to taste amazing, but this cake is so rich and dark and delicious, you're going to be blown away. And the great thing is it's also really easy to put together. So we start off with our dry ingredients. We have some all-purpose flour, and then some sugar, a little bit of cocoa powder, then I have some baking soda, and finally a little bit of salt. And you can see how easy it is when everything's all mixed together for you or gathered together. That's what you should do, is measure everything out ahead of time, and then making the recipe will be really easy. So now I just give all of the dry ingredients a little bit of a stir. And I'm gonna set this aside, and now what we call the wet ingredients. Oh, I forgot. So there's a little bit of chocolate chips. I'm gonna throw those in. This just gives you a little chocolatey bite when you're eating the cake. So now we have our wet ingredients. We have some vegetable oil, and then a little bit of vanilla. I have some molasses. No. And then I have some espresso powder. And then finally, water. The water is going to dissolve the espresso powder and kind of bring the whole thing together. So just give that a quick stir. You want to make sure that the molasses and the water and the oil, it's not going to all come together, but you do want to make sure at least the molasses gets mixed up into the water so that you don't have clumps of molasses in your batter. Now, to combine, you make a well in the middle of the dry ingredients. This is just to give the wet ingredients someplace to go. Pour the wet ingredients right into the middle of the well, and then stir to combine. Now, I find the easiest way to stir is to take my spatula and put it in the middle of the ingredients and then sweep it up the side of the bowl and then kind of give the bowl a turn. It's just like the easiest, quickest way to kind of fold wet and dry ingredients together. And now this is ready for us to put in our prepared cake pan. Get your cake pan ready. So I'm going to bake this cake in an 8-inch cake pan. But if you have an angel food cake pan, that also works out really well. Or if you have a muffin tin, you can line about 10 to 12 of the cups in the muffin pan, and this will make about 10 to 12 muffins. But I want to do a cake. I like doing a nice, beautiful cake. So I'm going to line this with a parchment circle, but you can also oil it and put a little flour on it to keep the cake from sticking. Let me show you how to make a parchment circle. Take the parchment, fold it in half, fold it in half again, fold it in half again. You basically want to keep folding it in half until you can take this folded part right here, invert the cake pan upside down, and you want to take the folded corner and put it right in the middle of the cake pan. Then you're going to take some scissors and just carefully cut around the footprint of the cake pan, just like that. And now you end up with a cake circle. Well, now you end up with 4 cake circles. There you go. And this is what we're going to use to line the bottom of the cake pan. So you're going to take your batter scrape it into your pan. And it should fill it just about 2/3 to 3/4 full. And now this is ready to go in a preheated 350-degree oven for about an hour. You want to put your timer on for maybe about 50 minutes and test it. And then we're going to test to make sure that when you press the center, it bounces back. That's when the cake is done. Beautiful vegan chocolate cake. It's been cooling now for about 3 hours. So I'm going to take a paring knife and just run it around the edge of the pan. And then I have my cake circle, or if you have a pan, you can invert directly onto the pan. I'm just going to invert directly onto my hand. I'm going to peel off that parchment circle. And then you can put this directly onto a serving plate, just like that. You can see all that melted chocolate, that looks so good. And if you wanted to give it a little bit of an extra special finish, take some confectioner sugar, if you have a little powdered sugar shaker. What we have here is some cheesecloth, and then just dust it with powdered sugar. And this cake goes awesome with some berries.
Product of the vegan chocolate cake. I hope you guys had a great time making it. It looks delicious. I just want to thank you guys for following along at home during these uncertain times. It was a bummer that we couldn't be on the island this summer, but hopefully next summer we'll be back out there, and we can't wait to see you there with us. So have a great rest of your summer.